great opportunity here. And I like to bring this up quite a bit, Apollo, but there is something about winning the first game in a best of 3. If aLive does manage to best them here on Shakura's Plateau, well, that means that Rhett has the advantage of getting to choose what map he wants to play in. That, of course, can be a very, very big advantage to have. So Liquid Rhett, he's spawning as our red Zerg up in the northeast. If you're looking for the Zerg to bring it to the round of 8, let's give it up for Liquid Rhett. And over in the northwest, we've got this player, Terran player, purple Terran player. He couldn't find his balance in the last game, but he certainly got the chops to be able to take a game off of Rhett, possibly take the series. If you want this guy to win, let's give it up for TSL aLive.
And aLive, I mean, will it be aLive or Rhett the first player to make it into our round of 8, though? I really don't know. But like you said, this is aLive's map choice, and we've seen pretty much, if it isn't a large map, it's Shakura's Plateau. And the reason for, Terran choosing this map over a Zerg is that the third base is really easy to take, and it's really easy to defend too. You can build the third command center within the main, and it's just a quick lift up and place down onto the lower ground. And then as the game goes into the later stages, there's basically 3 channels where you can filter Zerg units through. And that really does benefit tanks as the pushes come onto the later stages.
Yeah, I mean, and that can become a very, very scary thing. It makes position in the engagements, and of course, positioning and engagement is always important. But in this particular situation, I think that is why Terrans like to choose this map. There are a lot of positional advantages that they can take with siege tanks, with their armies, with drops as well, and the escape routes that these drops have. So, something to keep in mind as we continue on in this game. And I like this, just the perfect timing with that SCV coming off number 15 as it goes and checks for the Overlord. It was the exact timing for him to make his way over to the close by air positions. And we do have this 2 racks, and the big question is will we see a scout of the 2 racks by the Overlord? And it looks like he's going to actually immediately go the opposite way. He's going to get into position where he can scout later. So he won't, he will not know what's going on there.
Yeah, this is really smart from aLive actually. And Red has scouted obviously no gas and is probably just thinking 1 racks expand. He should keep in the back of the mind 2 racks is possible, but aLive also sent down an SCV at the same time you would send it down to build a command center too. And there is no drone send out either, so Red doesn't know if this is 1 rack's fake pressure or 2 racks, or a lot of Marines, and he could be in a lot of danger. And aLive actually did this earlier today against HeyPro and managed to get a really comfortable lead going into the mid stage of this game. And here it comes, the 3 bunker placement is coming down for aLive, exactly like we saw against HeyPro earlier.
Yep, and the 3rd bunker doesn't get blocked by that drone, and that's because the Marine does come up. A lot of drones have gone down. The pool should be done right now. There's the spine crawler going down, and all of these bunkers are starting to get up. There's another Marine. There's a cancellation, as now they're going to move forward. It looks like he should be able to bust this. No more Marines there. The SCV is going to try to finish it off, but this has all but been thwarted. A lot more Marines are coming in. Actually, there are a lot of Marines coming in here, and he only made about 2 additional Zerglings, but there should be enough. The spine crawler will finish, and it was held off by Rhett, but the pressure's not over.
Oh, he actually cancels the spine crawler too. Red says, I don't need a spine crawler, and actually goes back to mining. And that's a really smart move too, because a lot of players would be like, all right, I have to keep that spine crawler. I'll be safe if I have it. But Red knows that, a player will always follow this up with a command center and decides that extra 75 minerals is always going to be, an extra drone and a half. So Red just trying to jump on every small advantage he can get here. He's going to chase these down. He definitely can't engage against these Marines though.
I needed to lose just the 1 Zergling, but gets a good idea and knows for sure that there's certainly 2 racks down, of course, thinking there could be an expansion behind this. Does not know it yet, but Red is going to go ahead and hightail it out of there. He looks for an opportunity to even pick off 1 or 2 Marines, but some good coverage here by aLive as he will now take over the center of the map with those 2 Marine forces. We do see some more links coming out now, but without speed, this is also going to be okay for these Marines to kind of make their way around. Here comes the surround on the 4, and again, with those Marines together, this could have been a completely different engagement.
Yeah, Red's going to clean this up real easy. He's going back to drones. He's building drones. He's got his third hatchery up really early. And even though aLive can maybe take these down with good micro and good control, it really doesn't matter because he literally has 2, 3 left now, and Red can easily just build 6 links and hold this off.
I'm kind of surprised by aLive. I feel like that could have been a much more favorable engagement for him, but it just didn't. He's going to have to move away. He leaves 1 Marine to try to keep that map control. He does have his command center down, and this, of course, being while Rhett throws down his 3rd. And taking a quick look at the income, it is 23 to 30 harvesters in favor of Rhett. And meanwhile, he is now off of 2 gas, no lair quite yet, and he just continues to drone up as much as he possibly can. Going to throw down a spine at the front, and finally he's begun his speed research.
Yeah, and Rhett's very good at scouting too. That's what a lot of people say, you know, Rhett over drones too much, but he actually complements that with scouting very heavily. He sacrifices not 1, not 2, sometimes even 3 at the same time to make sure that he, you know, is safe to build all those drones. And he sends in an overload, gets the scout of both gases having been taken now, and so he knows that, you know, he's safe just to drone up for now. He has gone for the layer 2, and he's going to be able to take 5, 6 gases very shortly, and the amount of gas intake he can get from that, the Mulus can very easily go out of control. Meanwhile, though, we have 4 barracks, and we have a Hellion being made. I wouldn't be surprised if a reactor was made onto this factory very shortly, and we start seeing medivacs coming out. We've seen that a lot as of recently. And the Baneling nest going down, though, just as that safety precaution.
Yeah, and I mean, so far I've been really impressed with Rhett's timings on all of this. As he takes his 3rd base, he's going to be able to take another gas. He's already got 1 in his natural, but it'll be timed with the completion of the lair and then the start of the spire to give him something similar to what he had in the last game, which was just a nice collection of mutas plus the +1. And we did see the Baneling nest, I think, a little bit earlier this time, and now here comes a nice sizable force. It's maybe a situation where Rhett does have to retreat back a little bit. He's certainly going to have to output several units if he wants to hold on to this. And there are 14 lings on the way, spawning right now. He puts them right in the middle of his 2 bases, and I do like these positional the position of these lings and a couple banelings down here. He can keep some inside the bases, but anytime you get an opportunity to flank with some banelings and your opponent does not know they're coming, could be a remarkable thing. So he's really spread himself out very nicely.
Yeah, and Rhett realizes that, you know, the 10-minute mark is when stim finishes, when all the units can come. So even though, well, he's gone for 3 bases, so the spy is always going to be delayed, which forces him to go into the baneling speed. He's going to have to build banelings to hold this off, because the Mulus will never ever come out in time, and he's already doing that. He's got 20 lings in production, and if aLive decides to push out here, it could be really bad for him, as he's going to basically walk into a wall.
And here we got some lings moving around. Oh, he does not want to lose those, and he does lose at least half of those lings coming out here. He only has, let's see, 3 banelings, and it looks like 3 more being morphed in. And this is kind of the scary moment where you really have to manage your gas quite well.
Oh, no, baneling speed's about to finish as well, so these, he picks them off really nicely.
That could be really bad with the baneling speed not done yet. It has a few more seconds left to go, and all these Marines, they've stimmed up several times. Here more lings come in, and where's the baneling speed? It won't matter. 1 good hit, a 2nd good hit, but there's still several Marines left over.
Yeah, really nice cost-effective splitting there from aLive, but I don't think he's going to get the hatch. Rhett will not let him get the hatch, but there is a drop into the main base at the same time, DJ Wheat, and he's going for all the drones.
And this is a perfect timing coming out by aLive. It doesn't matter if he loses all those Marines down at the bottom. The damage was done. He's also completely negated all the mining happening here at the main. The drones are coming back, but a great little choke here by the Marines, and a lot more drones are going to go down than should.
Yeah, that's really nice from aLive, really making use of his units, and he's at a bit of a lead right now. He's at 51 SCVs and mules to 44 drones yet, and this 3rd hatchery for Rhett, even though he took it so long ago, has done nothing for him yet. It's given him a little bit of extra production, but he doesn't even have a queen there whatsoever. He hasn't even started mining gas there, so to be honest, he shouldn't have even got it in kind of this regard right now. And there is another drop getting lined up for aLive at the south side, and it's full of 8 Marines, and there are not that much Mutalisks out right now. If you look at the unit tab, there's only 4 out in the production tab, 4 are about to come out, but it's not been scouted whatsoever.
Yeah, and the Mutas might actually be too far here to be effective right away. He is sending them to the north side of the map. Are the Lings going to spot these coming down? The answer is no, and they are going to skirt right into this third base, and they should be able to take it down. Already down to about 946 hit points, and there it is. The drones quickly fall, and now we see the hatchery go. Lings trying to come in, and he's going to put himself right up against those minerals, easily take down those Lings. Here come the Mutas and the Banelings. Will he lose the hatchery? The answer is no. He has just too much there, and aLive is shut down.
Yeah, I mean, Rhett has to drone up really right now. Shutting that down, this is the time you should be droning up. And he's currently at 52, and aLive knows this is the time Rhett should be droning up. So look at this little army he's kind of been building while this harassment's gone on, and it's looking pretty nice, to be honest. These 3 tanks are going to make a lot of difference against the really minimal forces of Lings. 15 Lings and 6 Banelings, and now aLive is moving out. Rhett is going to go into harass at the same time. He's like, oh, I don't have time to harass, and has to come back to defend.
Yeah, that's really, really annoying because you want to do that with, and he's got to be careful. He's got a very, very sick medevac there that needs a unit that heals the medevac, but let's not talk about that. That'd be too much. 1 medevac goes down. Here's the lift into the main base. The Mutas are right there to take it out, but they cannot, and this is a scary moment. These Marines can do a lot of damage. Will we see something in terms of a counterattack? How will we deal with this? They can only extend themselves so far, Apollo, before, of course, they have to move back, and we do have a little force on the outside, but there, of course, is the siege tanks, and some Mutas are lost there.
Yeah, and this is a really tough position for Rhett to break. He just hasn't had the breathing space in this game like he did last time, and you can see the differences between game 1 and 2. Look who's calling the shots now, and look who's winning. 144 supply versus 116, and a counterattack is possible for Rhett, but the wall-off is up. There's no way he's getting in there. Even more Marines are being lifted in. He can even start to bunny hop tanks in, and this is a really hard position, just like we saw aLive do versus Stefano on Xel'Naga Fortress in the group stage.
And there we go, a lot of these units moving in, and a perfect little alcove for the Marines, and now they will push forward. Oh, 1 Baneling does hit, a second one is right there, but the Mutas will still go down. In fact, he's only left with 3 Mutas, a few more coming in to reinforce. There's still several Marines down there. The tanks aren't completely naked yet, and there is the counterattack on Rhett. It is met by the reinforcements, and I feel like Rhett is being chipped down a little bit at a time.
He's under so much pressure, he's not lava injecting in the main. He's only just this second, at 16 minutes, when he built the hatchery at 6 minutes, is mining gas from that third base. That is 10 minutes of not mining gas. That's just the reason why you expand over there. And that is hurting it a lot, hurting his gas income. 30 Mutalisks and 8 Banelings. That is it to fight out against an army of 65 Marines and 6 tanks.
And we almost loses that medevac full of Marines. He is going to lose it this time. And the second one almost goes down, but that 1 medevac can ferry quite a few of these Marines up. Now, keep in mind, Rhett has lost quite a few Mutalisks. There's another attack down below, so he's spreading this army out. He's getting rid of that creep, which will help him engage versus the Banelings and the Zerglings, also limiting that vision just a little bit. But I feel like, again, Rhett is losing too many Mutas right now. Yes, he does have to engage, but that ultimately is, I think, what is going to hurt him. He doesn't have that critical mass like he had in game number 1.
He's doing a really good job of sniping the medevacs still to prevent the drops continuing to happen into his main base. And the upgrades now for aLive are 1-1. He's working on 2-2, and he snipes a lot of the Banelings there. A bit of a flanking attack from Rhett is happening to the third base before the planetary fortress. This could be his saving grace to turn this around.
Yeah, I mean, he really needs to take this out, and it will go down. No repair from the SCVs, and will this just go ahead and constitute an attack to come out here, or will he be able to slip away without any problems? And it looks like he will be able to slip away, but Marines coming directly into the main. They're taking out reinforcements. Mutas are going down left and right, and this next group, look at how many Marines are here, the number of tanks that are actually sitting right here. The Muta count is just too low. Let's check out what it is right now. 15 Mutas, but there's so many Marines. He doesn't have enough Banelings to deal with this.
No, the tanks are in plenty, and he can very easily snipe all these Banelings. There's only 15 Banelings, and 6 tanks are going to kind of go easy on them. And now the Marines into the natural as well, and Red is in awful position.
I mean, he cleans it up nicely, Apollo, but the problem is now all the units are on the inside. No, the Banelings are on the flank, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. And will we see aLive move forward? Yes. Oh, he scans the Banelings. He knows exactly where they are. They're going in, but the tanks siege up, and almost all of them go out. We see an overstim on the Marines, but it won't matter. There's no ground units to help out here. These mutas should go down. The Marines might be able to march right up into the natural end of victory.
Oh no, and a big squad of Marines comes from the behind, all fully health, and that might be the tip and edge. Oh no, the last stim is going to keep these Marines alive to kill as many mutilates as possible, and it does go down, but look at the amount of Marines on the third base. DJ Wheat is about to snipe that hatchery.
Yeah, and we've got, I was looking at the Marines back at home, and there it is, the GG. Just too spread out, Apollo. aLive, you mentioned it, and you said it perfectly. The tempo was set this time by aLive. Ultimately, the attack on the third, deadly. But more deadly was while the attack on the third was taking place, the drop in the main